Okay, good morning ladies and gentlemen. My name's Jodie Breedon and I'm the minute taker of this meeting. Today we are here to discuss that Jaytom Constructions is undergoing a major restructure of several of its departments. To start off with, I would like to welcome the following guests and speakers. We have our CEO Michael Clements. We have our Finance Senior Manager David Hurst. We have our HR Senior Manager Sam Eagles, our Senior General Construction Manager Matt Stevens, our Senior Site Service Manager Michelle Dobbs, and 3 department managers, which are John Ford, Nikki Smith and Jason Slavenko. As you can see on your table, we have several documents. The documents are the meeting agenda for today. You have the financial reports, which are from last year's finances. You have several statistics and flowcharts that you can refer back to, and also our CEO proposal of the new plant and the new equipment that we are introducing. Okay, before we start the meeting today, it's just a reminder to everybody that we will conduct this meeting in an orderly and consistent and effective manner, following the principles of procedural fairness and due purpose of this meeting. We must adhere to and respect all the differing views that are discussed during the meeting. We want to conduct this meeting with integrity and in an ethical manner, remembering that this is a highly standard professional business and we must maintain the professional reputation of this business. I'd also like to remind all guests that any information that we discussed is discussed in confidentiality, and that follows the Privacy Act and non-disclosure of any information, that we must adhere to this. Also, the privacy of the attendees and any confidential information regarding personal and business information. Now that I've conducted my part, I would like to hand it over to our CEO, Mr. Michael Clements.
Okay, well, thank you, Jodie, for opening the meeting so well. I just wanted to note the time that we're starting this meeting is 10 a.m. and we'll run through to 2 p.m. With a half an hour break. It's the 30th of May 2016. And there's no previous minutes that we need to approve. So I guess I'll jump straight into what I was wanting to share with everyone, is that our company has gone through a major period of downturn. We are not, as you can see with your notes on the table, we're not getting as many profits as we would like to, and therefore we need to come up with a strategy for how the company might downsize the departments and move forward. So the 3 things that I'd like to talk about today is we may have to lay off a number of staff from different departments. We're also introducing a new plant and equipment which may be more effective in terms of some of our processes, and there will be a need for reducing human resources. So I come to you with very heavy heart that we may need to lay off some of our fine workers. So I'll just like to hand over now. So before I hand over, I would just like to maybe ask Jodie if she could recap those major points that I've just made.
Okay, so this is Jodie again, and I am just going to recap on the minutes that I've taken so far. The major points that our CEO Michael Clements has touched on today is that we are going to be downsizing several of the departments due to our downturn in our last yearly's profits. So the first main point is that we will be laying off some of our workers and downsizing different departments. The second point that the CEO has talked about today is we are going to be introducing a new plant and a new equipment to our company. And the third point is that introducing this plant and equipment will now reduce the need of our human resources as we have it so far. Now that we have recapped on the minutes that our CEO has discussed, I would now like to hand it over to our Senior Management of Site Services, Michelle Dobbs. Welcome, Michelle Dobbs.
Thank you. I would like to thank the CEO, Michael Clements, for his input, and I would just like to say that our strategy will be downsizing, and that the projected time will be less than 6 months.
Can I just interject there? Can I ask why it may take 6 months?
Well, it would be too disruptive of the construction jobs we are currently working on. More than 6 months will be unnecessary if we can stick to the schedule of employee layoff and of transferring to the increased use of mechanisation. I am still working on some of the details to ensure that the transfer is as smooth and economic as possible. The final details of the project transference will be finalised in the next few days, and I will produce this at the next strategy and planning meeting. As the employees have not been notified at this stage, this needs to be established at the next meeting in 1 week's time. Now I'm going to hand back to the minute taker, Jodie Breedon.
Okay, so as we have just heard from Michelle Dobbs, her major points for this meeting is that it may take 6 months, hopefully less, but 6 months to transit over to our new strategy. She's talked about how we would like to transfer with as smooth as possible for our financial profits. We don't want it to take too long for this transition to occur. The time frame, as she has said, is not confirmed as yet, but we will discuss that at our next strategy and planning meeting. As there are only 9 of us senior management and CEO here today, we must remember the confidentiality that we have talked about today. This information hasn't been forwarded or handed over to our general employees of our construction site. So I would like everybody to be reminded of the confidentiality of all topics discussed today. As Michelle also told us today, we will be having another meeting which will be held in 1 week's time. I will send out a notice of meeting to everyone via email regarding the dates, times and location of that meeting. And so this meeting is now adjourned. So that concludes the meeting for today. I'd like to thank again everyone who attended, and I'll look forward to seeing you all next week. Thank you very much, everybody.
Well, thank you, Jodie. Thank you.